Luka Modric and Croatia will hunt for silverware on Sunday, June 18, as they take on former world champion Spain as the Nations League final takes center stage in Rotterdam. So, will Croatia clinch their first piece of international silverware, or will Spain add another chapter to their glorious history? Hello and a warm welcome to WION Podcasts. I'm Aditya Pimple, and joining me today is Abhinav Singh as we speak in detail on the upcoming Nations League final between Croatia and Spain. So, hello Abhinav, hope you're doing well, and as we have been saying that the blockbuster match will be on offer between Spain and Croatia. So, where do you see the flow of the river going in this upcoming contest, a big final tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely, Aditya. And first of all, thank you for inviting me to your podcast. And yes, looking forward to the match, and I feel it is going to be a very close match. But I feel like Croatia have the upper hand. What do you think?
Croatia might have the upper hand, as you say. Momentum is on their side. But if you just turn down the history books, you can find that Spain slightly have the upper hand in terms of the numbers. They have won 5 matches in their 9 head-to-head meetings. Tomorrow will be their 10th meeting, by the way. So, in terms of history books, it's favor Spain, but you shouldn't underestimate Croatia as well. So, you might be right on that aspect. But who do you think is going to be the impact in this contest?
I think if you are looking at Spain, I'm looking at their midfield. That is what has me worried a bit. Even though you have got Rodri and Merino in the middle of the park, I think the mid three of Croatia with Brozovic, Kovacic and Modric, with their tired legs, with their old legs, they might have the upper hand, because I think in big matches you need the experience, and I think Croatia have got that.
So you're saying about you're saying about that Modric and all are getting the old legs, but isn't he just like aging wine, which gets only better and better with age? Because Modric, we have seen him down and again. He has been superb with his form. He has once again guided his international team to a final. So don't you see him as an aging wine?
Of course. Even in the last match against Netherlands, he was pivotal in Croatia, forming wave after wave of an attack. He I think won the penalty for them, right?
He in extra time it was, after it was some heartbreak for them in normal time.
Yeah, and even for that Gakpo penalty, I mean, being a Liverpool fan, it was kind of iffy penalty. But
maybe.
But yeah, Modric was controlling the game superbly. Even in after the extra time, they stepped up at a bit above, and
they in fact were punching above their weights, anyways, because Petkovic scored in the 98th minute, and then Modric comes up, because the game was really hanging in the balance until the 116th minute. And they somehow pulled the rabbit out of the hat. Modric got that penalty and won the game. So it was exceptional on their part. But what do you have to say about the opposition, Spain? Because even they had some tough contest against the Italians.
I mean, Italy would be heartbroken the way they were eliminated. I mean, that deflected goal. But even then, if you go back in the game, that Immobile goal that was ruled out by
offside.
Yeah. And you'd say Italy were a bit unlucky, but again, let's talk about my man Rodri. He has just won a UCL final with a phenomenal strike.
And he actually kissed the UCL final with a goal that clinched City's first ever Champions League.
Exactly. The guy plays a UCL final, scores a screamer, 2 days later, hits another belter, and that ends up becoming the difference between the two sides, because that's how Morata got that deflection and he just slotted it in.
And they were lucky, by the way. And Abhinav, most interesting fact, we saw what Manchester City and Real Madrid were doing in the Champions League, but it was Rodri against Modric in that Champions League semi-final ties. Rodri got the better of him. They meet again tomorrow night. So, are we going to see the same duel? Does Modric have a shot at redemption tomorrow, or will we see Rodri once again getting on the top?
See, it's Rodri's peak versus Modric's experience. That's it. And if Brozovic and Kovacic can help cover Modric, I feel like Croatia might just edge this through, even though history might tell us that Spain have the upper hand. But football is played on the field, on that day anything can change. Right?
So, certainly, the stats are just on the paper, and the game is played on pitch and not the paper. So that is what you are saying. But if we just look back into the history books, the last Nations League meeting between these two sides, who was the winner? Croatia. However, the last meeting between these two sides took place in the Euros, and it was Spain who emerged victorious. So it is, it is that 50-50 contest. We just can't predict this thing, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. On days when you are playing a big final, it's just about that one player stepping up, having that moment of magic that can change the game. That is it. I mean, even if you are coming into a game with a super form or have the record by your side, it's just about staying in that moment and pulling that bunny out of the hat, which I feel like both teams have the capability, superb individual qualities, but again it all boils down to what happens on the field that day. And I can actually see this game going to extra time again, like that Euro.
So you're predicting some hard time for us as well, because we will have to just stretch it overnight to watch the match. But again, let us just talk about something, these two teams have been doing. But Croatia, they were close to winning a silverware where in 2018. They lost the World Cup final. They make it to the semi-finals in 2022 of the World Cup. Again, they are in the final. So, do you think that it could be third time lucky for the Croatians to finally clinch a silverware?
I mean, if you want to say Modric, give him the perfect send-off, I think they should get lucky. And they have been knocking on the door for some time. I think they do deserve it. I mean, I'm nothing against Spain, but a tiny part of me wants Modric to sign off on a high note. Even though he has been the player who has made my team suffer a lot.
No, certainly, because Modric has got the better of Liverpool, your beloved Liverpool on a number of occasions in the recent times. But, Spain have been on a drought as well, We can just compare that the Spain's drought to the Indian cricket team, because Spain haven't won they haven't won an international trophy since 2012. India haven't won an ICC trophy since 2013, so that is something that we can make familiar with. But, do you think that Spain, what is going to be an impact there for them? Will it be the midfield? Will it be the attack? Because Morata is not generally firing on all cylinders, but he's still getting the goals for the international side.
You just had to bring it up, no? Our beloved Indian cricket team. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Indian cricket team. Let's just focus on the match in hand. So for Spain, I think if Rodri fires, then you have Gavi. Gavi, I've seen in the last match, he was dropping a bit in the middle of Merino and Rodri, playing the ball. And I think Morata has, despite not being that involved in the game, he has the knack of getting the goals. Yeremy Pino, excellent goals from him. And Alaba, you could see turning back the clock from the left side, darting forward.
And even Unai Simon as well, he has made some crucial saves for Spain, because if he wasn't there, Spain might not have been in the final.
I mean, you can understand how big of an impact he has had, that he has totally replaced David De Gea.
Yeah, it was... in fact, certainly, the way that they will be looking forward to, it could be tough for both the oppositions. But if just I'm going to ask you a prediction, what could be your prediction for the final, because it is going to be a close contest. It could be a nail-biter. You're telling that it could be going into extra time. So what are your predictions for this contest?
I think I'd go for penalties. Penalties, Croatia to win.
Oh, so you're saying penalties and Croatia to win, because Croatia have had some tough luck with the penalties. They also have some good luck with the penalties as well. They will have some bad memories for the knockout matches. They lost in the final of the 2018 World Cup, 2022 World Cup semi-finals. So I hope that they get something over the line and finally clinch that silverware. Just not for the nation, but also for someone named Luka Modric. So Abhinav, those were your predictions that Croatia is going to win. I'm going for Croatia as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was the time that we had on offer for you. Hope that you have enjoyed our this week's WION podcast. Join us again next time. Unfortunately, since we are running out of time, we will be joining you next week Don't forget to write on our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. From the rest of the team and from me, goodbye and thanks for joining.